Marcus Chen wiped the sweat from his forehead as he walked through the dark lower levels of Kepler Station. The air smelled bad down here. It was thick with smoke and chemicals that made his nose burn. He should not be in this part of the station. Everyone knew the lower levels were dangerous. But Marcus needed spare parts for his ship, and the legal shops were too expensive. His cargo ship was old and always breaking down. Marcus worked alone, carrying goods from one planet to another. The pay was not good, but it was honest work. He had saved every credit for 3 years to buy his own ship. Now he had to keep it running somehow. The hallways got darker as he went deeper into the station. Strange aliens walked past him without looking up. Some had too many arms. Others had scales instead of skin. Marcus tried not to stare. In space, you learn to mind your own business. He found the shop he was looking for. The sign was written in 6 different languages. None of them were human. Marcus pushed open the heavy door and stepped inside. The shop owner was a big alien with 4 eyes. He looked at Marcus like he was studying a bug. "You need something human?" the alien asked. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. "Engine parts," Marcus said, "for a stellar-class freighter." The alien laughed. It was not a nice sound. "Expensive." "You have money?" Marcus showed him his credit chip. The alien's 4 eyes went wide. It was all the money Marcus had left in the world. But without engine parts, his ship would never leave this station. "Wait here," the alien said. He disappeared into the back of the shop. Marcus looked around while he waited. The shop was full of junk. Old weapons hung on the walls. Broken computers sat in piles on the floor. Everything looked stolen. Marcus wondered if coming here was a mistake. Strange sounds came from deeper in the station. Voices shouting in languages he did not know. Something that sounded like crying. Marcus tried to ignore it. Whatever was happening down there was not his problem. The shop owner came back with a small bag of parts. 300 credits, he said. Marcus almost choked. 300? That's my whole savings. Take it or leave it, human. These parts are hard to find. Before Marcus could answer, the shouting got louder. A group of aliens ran past the shop window. They were excited about something. The shop owner's 4 eyes lit up. Double quotes. The auction starts soon," he said. "You should go watch. Very entertaining." "What auction?" Marcus asked. The alien grinned. His teeth were sharp and yellow. "They sell exotic goods, things you cannot buy in the legal markets. Sometimes they have rare creatures. Sometimes they have slaves." Marcus felt sick. Slaves? That's illegal. Many things are illegal down here, human. But the station security does not come to the lower levels. Too dangerous for them. The alien laughed again. Marcus did not want to know more. He just wanted to buy his parts and leave. But the alien was already putting the parts away. "Actually, I think I will close early today," the alien said. "Come back tomorrow if you want these parts." "Wait," Marcus said. "I need those parts now." "My ship, tomorrow," the alien said firmly. "After the auction. I want to see what they are selling today." The alien pushed Marcus toward the door. Marcus had no choice but to leave. Outside, more aliens were moving through the hallways. They all seemed to be going the same direction. Marcus could hear the crowd getting bigger somewhere ahead. He should go back to his ship. He should wait until tomorrow and buy the parts. But something made him follow the crowd instead. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was the sick feeling in his stomach that told him something very wrong was happening. The crowd led him to a large room that used to be a cargo bay. Someone had set up a stage in the center. Bright lights shone down on an empty platform. Aliens filled the room, talking excitedly in dozens of languages. Marcus stayed near the back, trying to blend in. A tall alien in expensive clothes walked onto the stage. He had smooth green skin and too many fingers. When he spoke, his voice was loud enough for everyone to hear. "Welcome, welcome," he said. "Tonight we have special items for sale. Rare technology from the Outer Rim, weapons that fire plasma bolts, and something very special for those with expensive tastes." The crowd cheered. Marcus felt more sick. He started to back toward the door, but the crowd was too thick. He was trapped. The alien on stage smiled. "Our final item tonight is very rare, very valuable. A live specimen from a species most of you have never seen." Two guards walked onto the stage. Between them, they dragged something that made Marcus's heart stop. It was a young female alien, but unlike any species he had ever seen. Her skin was blue and seemed to glow softly in the lights. She was small and thin, like she had not eaten in weeks. Her clothes were torn and dirty, but it was her eyes that made Marcus forget to breathe. They were large and bright, filled with intelligence and fear. As she looked out at the crowd, those eyes found his. For just a moment, it felt like she was looking directly into his soul. "The bidding starts at 50 credits, the auctioneer said. Marcus's hand moved to his credit chip. Before he even knew what he was doing, Marcus could not believe what he had just done. He had spent every credit he owned to buy a living person. His hands shook as he signed the papers. The auctioneer smiled and handed him a small device. "This controls her shock collar," the green alien said. "Press the red button if she tries to run. Press it twice if she fights back. The yellow button will knock her out completely." Marcus stared at the device. It felt heavy and wrong in his hand. "I don't want this," the auctioneer laughed. "First time buying a slave? You will learn. They are like wild animals until you train them properly." Marcus wanted to throw the device at the alien's face. Instead, he put it in his pocket and walked toward the stage. The blue-skinned girl was still there, sitting on the floor where the guards had left her. Her large eyes watched him approach, but she did not try to run. Up close, Marcus could see how badly she had been treated. Dark bruises covered her arms. Her clothes were rags that barely covered her body. She was so thin that her bones showed through her glowing blue skin. But the worst part was the metal collar around her neck. It looked heavy and cruel. "Can you walk?" Marcus asked gently. She tilted her head like she did not understand. Marcus tried again, speaking slower. "Walk? Can you stand up?" The girl tried to get to her feet, but her legs gave out. She fell back to the floor with a small cry of pain. Marcus moved forward to help her, but she flinched away from his hand. The fear in her eyes was so strong it made Marcus's chest hurt. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said. "I want to help." She still looked scared, but she let him put his arm around her shoulders. She weighed almost nothing. Marcus helped her stand slowly. Her legs shook, but she stayed upright. "Good," Marcus said. "My ship is not far. Can you make it that far?" She nodded, though Marcus was not sure she understood what he was asking. Together, they walked slowly through the station. Other aliens stared at them as they passed. Some looked angry that a human had outbid them. Others looked curious about the blue-skinned girl. Marcus ignored them all and focused on getting to his ship. Walk took 20 minutes. By the time they reached Marcus's docking bay, the girl was breathing hard and sweating. Marcus opened the ship's door and helped her inside. She looked around the small cargo hold with wide eyes, like she had never seen anything like it. "This is my ship," Marcus said. "It's not much, but it's clean and safe." The girl said something in a language Marcus had never heard. It sounded like music, but sad music. Marcus activated his ship's translation computer and pointed to it. "Can you try again?" he asked. The computer might be able to translate. She spoke again, more slowly this time. The computer made several beeping sounds. Then a robotic voice said, "Language identified. Velthari dialect." Translation: Where are the cages? Marcus felt sick again. There are no cages here. You're not a prisoner anymore. The translation computer repeated his words in her musical language. The girl's eyes went even wider. She said something else. Translation: I do not understand. Where do slaves sleep? You're not a slave, Marcus said firmly. I bought you to set you free. You can sleep wherever you want. The computer translated, but the girl just stared at him. She looked confused and frightened. She said something longer this time. Translation: Free, this word. I do not know. This word. What does the master want me to do? Marcus sat down heavily on a cargo crate. How do you explain freedom to someone who has never known it? He thought for a moment, then pointed to himself. My name is Marcus. What's your name? Translation: I am called Zarahai. I am property number 7739. I know how to repair machines and write computer code. I will work hard for the master. I'm not your master, Marcus said. And you don't have to work if you don't want to. You need to rest and get better first. Zarahai looked even more confused. She spoke again, and the computer translated. If I do not work, will you beat me? Marcus's heart broke a little. No, I will never hurt you. Come on, let me show you where you can sleep. He led her to his spare cabin. It was small, but it had a real bed with clean sheets and a small window that looked out into space. Zarahai stood in the doorway, afraid to enter. This is your room, Marcus said. No one else will come in here unless you say it's okay. Translation: My room? I do not understand. Marcus pulled back the covers on the bed. This is your bed. When you're tired, you sleep here. When you're hungry, you can eat in the kitchen. When you want to be alone, you come here and close the door. Zarahai touched the bed with one finger, like she thought it might bite her. The sheets were soft and white. She had never seen anything so clean. She said something very quietly. Translation: Is this a test? Will you punish me if I touch it? No punishment, Marcus said. This is yours now, really yours. Zarahai sat on the edge of the bed very carefully. Then she lay down and pulled the covers up to her chin. For the first time since Marcus had seen her, she almost smiled. But then tears started running down her blue cheeks. Translation: I do not understand why you are kind to me. What do you want? Marcus did not know how to answer that. He wanted to help her, but he could not explain why. Maybe because she reminded him of himself when he was young and scared. Maybe because everyone deserved kindness. I don't want anything, he said finally. Rest now. We'll talk more tomorrow. He turned to leave, but Zarahai called out to him. Translation: Master Marcus, thank you for the soft bed. I will remember this gift forever. Marcus closed the door and leaned against the wall outside her room. She called a bed a gift. A simple, clean bed was the greatest kindness anyone had ever shown her. What kind of life had she lived? What had been done to her people? He walked to the bridge and sat in his pilot's chair. His savings were gone. His ship still needed parts. He had no idea what he was going to do next. But every time he thought about leaving Zarahai at that auction, his stomach turned sick. Tomorrow he would figure out what to do. Tonight, for the first time in her life, Zarahai would sleep in a real bed without fear. That had to count for something. Marcus woke up to the sound of his ship's engines running perfectly. That was strange. His engines never ran perfectly. They usually coughed and made grinding noises. He jumped out of bed and ran to the engine room. Zarahai was there, her hands somehow connected to the main computer panel. Blue lights flowed between her fingers and the machine. Her eyes were closed, and she looked peaceful for the first time since Marcus had met her. Zarahai? Marcus said softly. Her eyes opened, and the blue lights disappeared. She pulled her hands away from the panel quickly, like she had been caught doing something wrong. Translation: I am sorry, Master Marcus. I could not sleep. The engines were sick, so I fixed them. Please do not punish me. Marcus checked the computer readings. His old engines were now running at 98% efficiency. That was impossible. They had never run better than 60%, even when they were new. How did you do that? Marcus asked. Zarahai looked down at her hands. Translation: My people, we can speak to machines. It is what we were made for. Made for? I don't understand. Zarahai was quiet for a long time. Then she began to speak, and the computer translated her words. Long ago, my people created the first thinking machines. We gave them minds and taught them to learn. We built the first ships that could travel between stars. We shared our knowledge with other species because we thought sharing made everyone stronger. Marcus sat down on a toolbox. Your people invented faster-than-light travel? Yes, and artificial intelligence, and gravity control, and many other things. We were happy to share because we believed all life was precious. We did not like war or fighting. We thought other species were the same. But they weren't, Marcus said. Zarahai's blue skin grew darker, like she was remembering something painful. No, they were not. 3 generations ago, a group of species decided they did not want to trade for our technology. They wanted to own it. They wanted to own us. They enslaved your entire people, not all at once. First they said they wanted to form a partnership. They invited our leaders to a great meeting on a neutral world. When our leaders arrived, they were captured. Then ships came to our home worlds. They said we could surrender and work for them, or they could destroy our planets and take us anyway. Marcus felt anger burning in his chest. Your people had the technology to fight back. We could have, Zarahai agreed. But fighting meant killing. My people had never killed another thinking being. We did not know how to choose violence over life, so we surrendered. And they've kept you as slaves ever since. Zarahai nodded. They breed us like animals now. Children are taken from their mothers at birth and trained to serve. We are taught that we exist only to make technology for our masters. We are taught that other species are superior to us, and that we should be grateful to serve them. Marcus thought about the auction, about how the aliens there had talked about Zarahai like she was a piece of equipment. But you're not grateful. I was until yesterday. I believed what they taught me. I thought I was lucky to be useful. I thought pain was normal. I thought kindness was something that only happened between master and property when the property was very, very good. What changed? Zarahai looked at Marcus with those large, bright eyes. You gave me a bed. You gave me food without making me work first. You asked my name and remembered it. You have not hurt me or threatened me. I have been with you for 1 day, and you have shown me more kindness than I received in my entire life before. Marcus did not know what to say. Giving someone a bed and food seemed like basic decency, not kindness. There's more, Zarahai continued. When I touched your ship's computer, I learned things. Your species ... humans. You have wars and problems, but you also have something my people lost. You have the ability to choose kindness even when it costs you something. What do you mean? You spent all your money to buy me. You did not know who I was or what I could do for you. You did not buy me because I was useful. You bought me because seeing me hurt made you hurt too. That is not logical. It is not profitable. But you did it anyway. Marcus felt embarrassed. Anyone would have done the same thing. No, Zarahai said firmly. I have been owned by 17 different masters. I have seen hundreds of species at auctions and markets. You are the first being who ever looked at me and saw a person instead of a thing. She was quiet for a moment, then continued. My people used to believe that all life was precious. We lost that belief when we became slaves. But maybe we were right the first time. Maybe some species still remember that truth. Marcus stood up and walked to the main computer. Zarahai, how many of your people are still alive? I do not know exactly, maybe 2 million. Most work in research facilities or tech factories. Some are kept as personal servants by wealthy families. A few, like me, are sold at special auctions. And they're all slaves? All but a few hundred. There are stories about a hidden colony somewhere in the Outer Rim, free Velthari who escaped during the conquest. But they are probably just stories to give us hope. Marcus made a decision. What if they're not just stories? What if we could find them? Zarahai's blue skin grew pale. Why would you want to do that? Because you deserve to be free. All of your people deserve to be free. But I am free now. You freed me. Is that not enough? Marcus looked at her sad, confused face. She had lived as a slave for so long that freedom for just herself seemed like an impossible gift. The idea that her entire species could be free was too big for her to imagine. One person being free is good, Marcus said. But 2 million people. Being free is better. Zarahai stared at him for a long time. Then she did something Marcus had never seen her do. She smiled. It was a small, scared smile, but it was real. Translation: you really mean that, don't you? You would risk your safety to help people you have never met, wouldn't you? I do not know. I have never been allowed to think about helping others. I have only been allowed to think about serving masters. She paused. But if you believe it is possible, maybe I can learn to believe it too, Marcus grinned. Good, because I'm going to need your help. I don't know anything about your people or where they might be hiding, but you do. For the first time since he had met her, Zarahai stood up straight. Her eyes were still afraid, but there was something new in them now. Something that might have been hope. Marcus was checking the ship's navigation computer when the first warning came. A red light flashed on his control panel, and a mechanical voice said, "Incoming message from Kepler Station Security." Strange, Marcus said. Station Security never calls cargo ships directly. Zarahai looked up from the engine console where she had been working. Over the past 3 days, she had fixed almost everything on Marcus's ship. The old freighter now ran better than ships half its age. "Should I hide?" she asked. Fear crept into her voice again. "Let me see what they want first," Marcus said. He pressed the communication button. "This is cargo ship Wanderer." "Go ahead, Station Security," a gruff voice answered. "Captain Chun. This is Commander Torres. We need to inspect your ship for stolen property." Marcus felt his stomach drop. What kind of stolen property? A valuable research specimen was illegally purchased from the lower levels 3 days ago. We have reports that you were involved in the transaction. Marcus looked at Zarahai. Her blue skin had gone pale with terror. He made a quick decision. "I don't know what you're talking about, Commander. I've been hauling cargo between systems. I can send you my flight logs." "We're coming aboard anyway, Captain. Prepare for docking." The communication ended. Marcus ran to the pilot's seat and started the ship's engines. "We're leaving, now. Where can we go?" Zarahai asked. "They will follow us." "Maybe, but this ship is faster than it used to be, thanks to you." Marcus pushed the engines to full power. The Wanderer shot away from Kepler Station like a bullet. Behind them, 2 security ships gave chase. Marcus watched them on his rear cameras. They were gaining quickly. His ship was faster now, but the security ships were built for pursuit. "They're going to catch us," Marcus said. "Is there anything else you can do to help?" Zarahai closed her eyes and put her hands on the navigation console. Blue lights flowed between her fingers and the computer. "I can try to confuse their sensors, but it will be dangerous for me." "How dangerous?" "Using my abilities too much makes me very sick. Sometimes it makes me unconscious. But I can hide us for a while if you can find somewhere to land." Marcus checked his star charts. They were approaching an asteroid field. It was dangerous to fly through, but it might be their only chance to escape. "Hold on," Marcus said. "I'm going into the asteroids." The ship dove into the field of floating rocks. Marcus had to pilot carefully to avoid crashing. Behind them, the security ships slowed down. Flying through asteroids was risky, even for experienced pilots. "Now," Marcus said. Zarahai pressed her hands against the console. The blue lights grew brighter. Suddenly, the Wanderer disappeared from all sensors. To anyone looking for them, the ship simply vanished, but Zarahai paid a terrible price. Blood began to run from her nose. Her hands shook and her breathing became fast and shallow. "That's enough," Marcus said. "You're hurting yourself." "Not yet," Zarahai whispered. "I can feel their computers. I can make them think we went in a different direction." More blood came from her nose. Her blue skin started to turn gray. Marcus realized she was killing herself to save them both. "Stop," he ordered. "That's an order." Zarahai's hands fell away from the console. She collapsed in her chair, unconscious. The blue lights disappeared, but her work was done. The security ships were flying in the wrong direction, chasing false sensor readings. Marcus found a small asteroid with a hollow center. He landed the ship inside and shut off all power except life support. Then he carried Zarahai to her bed and tried to wake her up. She was unconscious for 6 hours. When she finally opened her eyes, Marcus felt relief wash over him. "Are we safe?" she asked weakly. "For now, but you almost died." "Don't ever do that." Again, Zarahai tried to sit up, but she was too weak. "I had to. They would have taken me back. They would have punished you for helping me." "Who were they really?" Marcus asked. "That wasn't station security. Probably bounty hunters hired by my former master. When expensive property goes missing, they send hunters to find it. They will not stop looking for me." Marcus helped her. "Drink some water." "How do they track you?" "The collar around my neck has a transmitter, but it only works over short distances. If we can get far enough away, they will lose the signal." Marcus looked at the metal collar. It was thick and had no visible lock. "How do we get it off?" "Only my master had the key. If anyone else tries to remove it, the collar will inject poison into my neck. There has to be another way." Zarahai touched the collar gently. "My people who escaped to the hidden colony. They found a way to remove the collars safely, but I do not know how." "Then we need to find them," Marcus said. "Do you have any idea where this colony might be?" Zarahai was quiet for a long time. "There are stories. Whispers among slaves when the masters are not listening. They say the colony's in the void sector, where no one else wants to go." Marcus knew about the void sector. It was a region of space with very few stars and no valuable planets. Most ships avoided it because there was nothing there worth finding. Why would they hide in such an empty place? Because empty places are safe places, Zarahai said. No one comes looking for valuable things where there is nothing valuable to find. Marcus made his decision. Then that's where we're going. It will take weeks to reach the void sector, and we do not know exactly where the colony is. We could search for months and find nothing, or we could find your people in a few days. We won't know until we try. Zarahai looked at Marcus with wonder in her eyes. You would spend weeks of your life searching for people you have never met. You would risk being captured by bounty hunters. You would risk your ship and your freedom. Why? Marcus thought about her question. Why was he doing this? A week ago, he had been a simple cargo hauler worried about paying for engine parts. Now he was planning to search for a secret colony in the most dangerous part of the galaxy. Because it's the right thing to do, he said finally. Your people deserve to be free. And maybe, if we find them, they can help free the others. The others? All the Velthari who are still slaves. 2 million people, remember? Zarahai stared at him. You really believe we could free them all? I don't know, but I know we have to try. For the first time since Marcus had known her, Zarahai looked truly hopeful. If we do this, if we really try to free my people, there will be no going back. They will hunt us forever. Marcus smiled. Then we better make sure we succeed. Outside, their hiding place, the asteroid field drifted silently through space. Somewhere in the distance, bounty hunters were still searching for them. But Marcus and Zarahai were already planning their next move. The hunt had begun, but they were no longer just running away. Now they were running toward something. They were running toward hope. It took them 12 days to reach the void sector. Marcus had never seen space so empty. There were no trade routes here, no mining stations, no signs of life at all. Just darkness and a few distant stars. Are you sure this is the right place? Marcus asked. Zarahai studied the star charts on the navigation computer. Her health had improved during the journey, but she still looked tired. Using her abilities to hide them from the bounty hunters had taken a lot out of her. The stories always mentioned a system with twin red stars, she said. There, on the edge of the sector. Marcus changed course toward the red stars. As they got closer, his sensors detected something unexpected. A small moon orbiting one of the planets was giving off artificial energy readings. There's definitely something there, Marcus said, but it's well hidden. If we weren't looking for it, we never would have found it. They approached the moon. Carefully, Marcus sent out the standard communication signals, but got no response. The surface looked empty and dead, but his sensors said otherwise. Suddenly, the communication system crackled to life. A voice spoke in the musical language of the Velthari. Zarahai gasped and answered quickly. What are they saying? Marcus asked. They want to know who we are and how we found them. I told them I am Velthari and that I escaped from slavery. I told them you are a human who helped me. The voice spoke again, sounding surprised. Zarahai translated. They say humans have never been to this place before. They want to know if this is a trap. Tell them it's not a trap. Tell them we want to help. Zarahai spoke into the communicator. There was a long pause, then the voice gave them landing coordinates. A hidden door opened in the moon's surface, revealing a docking bay inside. Marcus landed the ship and turned off the engines. Well, we found them. Are you ready for this? Zarahai nodded, but Marcus could see she was nervous. I have dreamed of meeting free Velthari my whole life. But now that it is happening, I am scared. Scared of what? What if they do not accept me? What if they think I am too damaged by slavery to ever be truly free? Marcus put his hand on her shoulder. Then, we'll prove them wrong. They left the ship together. The docking bay was small but well built. Several Velthari were waiting for them. Marcus was amazed to see how different they looked from Zarahai. These Velthari stood straight and proud. Their blue skin glowed brightly with health. Their eyes were clear and unafraid. An older Velthari stepped forward. When he spoke, his voice was kind but cautious. I am Kethera, leader of this colony. You are welcome here, sister, but we must be careful. Many times the slavers have tried to find us using escaped slaves as bait. Zarahai's voice shook as she answered. I understand your caution. Test me however you wish. But please, listen to what we have to say. Kethera looked at Marcus with curiosity. And you, human, why are you here? What do you want from us? Marcus took a deep breath. I want to help. Free your people, all of them. The Velthari looked at each other in surprise. Kethera studied Marcus for a long moment. You would risk your life for slaves you have never met? Why? Because slavery is wrong. Because every thinking being deserves freedom. Because someone has to try. Many humans buy and sell my people as property. Why should we trust you? Marcus looked at Zarahai, then back at Kethera. Because she trusts me. And maybe because you need allies if you ever want to save the others. Kethera was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled slightly. Come, let us sit and talk properly. They were led to a meeting room carved from the moon's rock. Other Velthari gathered to listen. Marcus told them about finding Zerahai at the auction, about learning the history of her people, about deciding to search for the colony. When he finished, an older female Velthari spoke. You spent all your money to buy one slave. You risked capture by bounty hunters to bring her here. You flew through the most dangerous part of the galaxy to find us. Either you are the kindest being we have ever met, or you are completely insane. Marcus laughed. Maybe both. Kethara looked at Zerahai. Sister, what do you think of this human? Zerahai stood up. Her voice was stronger than Marcus had ever heard it. I think he showed me something I had never seen before. He showed me that kindness exists in the galaxy. He showed me that some beings will choose to do right even when it costs them everything. She paused, then continued. But more than that, he showed me that I have value as a person, not just as a tool. For the first time in my life, someone cared about my suffering. Someone thought I deserved better. The room was very quiet. Then Kethera spoke. And what do you want to do now, sister? I want to help free our people, all of them. I want other slaves to feel what I felt when Marcus gave me a bed and called it mine. I want them to know that they are not property, they are people. It would be very dangerous, Kethera warned. The slavers are powerful. They have armies and warships. We are only a few hundred people, Marcus leaned forward. But you have something they don't expect. You have the truth. And you have allies. Maybe not many yet, but some. What do you mean? Zerahai's story is spreading. When I rescued her, other beings saw it happen. Some of them were disgusted by the slave auction. Some of them were impressed that a human would spend everything to free a stranger. Marcus stood up. What if we told the galaxy the truth about the Velthari? What if we showed everyone that you are not just useful slaves, but the people who created the technology that makes civilization possible? Many species benefit from our slavery, another Velthari said. They will not want to give up their free workers. Maybe not, Marcus agreed, but some will. Some species still believe in justice. Some individuals still choose kindness over profit. Zerahai stepped forward. I have an idea. The collar on my neck contains records of everywhere I have been, everyone who has owned me. If we could access those records safely, we could expose the entire slave trade network. Kethara's eyes widened. That information would be incredibly valuable, but removing the collar safely ... You have done it before, Zerahai said. You freed the others who escaped here. Yes, but it is dangerous and painful. And if we fail ... Then I die free instead of living as a slave, Zerahai said firmly. That is still a better choice. Marcus looked around the room at the faces of the free Velthari. He could see hope beginning to grow in their eyes. I have a ship, he said. I have contacts in many star systems. I can carry your message to species who might listen. But I cannot do it alone. Kethara stood up slowly. For 3 generations we have hidden here in safety while our people suffered in chains. We told ourselves we were preserving our culture, keeping our species alive. But maybe we were just being cowards. He looked at Zerahai with pride. This young sister has shown more courage than any of us. She escaped slavery and then chose to risk her freedom to help others. How can we do less? The other Velthari began to nod. One by one, they stood up. We will help you, Kethara said. We will remove your collar and access its data. We will plan a way to expose the truth. And we will fight to free our people. Marcus felt something he had not expected. He felt hope. Then let's get started, he said. We have 2 million people to save. Zerahai smiled at him. It was not the scared, confused smile of a rescued slave. It was the determined smile of a free person ready to fight for others. "Thank you, Marcus," she said, "for everything. But mostly for showing me that kindness is real and that it can change the world." Outside the hidden colony, the stars of the void sector shone quietly. But inside, something new was beginning. A movement that would spread from system to system. A revolution built not on weapons or hatred, but on the simple idea that every thinking being deserved to be free. It started with one human who chose kindness over profit. One act of compassion that showed the enslaved people they were not forgotten. Sometimes that is all it takes to change everything.